For those of you who may be joining us just for this second race, Noraystra losing to Redbirdgrad by a pretty narrow margin, regardless of whatever the time was. The margin that he lost by was one bomb, more or less. He found Ganon first, but could not get to Ganon's room due to a bomb deficiency. And there's some bombs.
Yeah, he gets the bomb right away. Of course he does. Both of our runners heading over. Looks towards level 3, but Noraystra are going to take a peek in the shop first to find out that the candle is 61 rupees. So he knows where the location of the candle is, which is really good information.
Yeah, we saw this exact same routing by both guys in the first race, and sure enough, we also saw level 8 in this same spot, so things are feeling awfully familiar at this point. I've been trying real hard to forget what all was in that first seed, and the game's kind of making it hard to do that.
Yeah, so Nora doesn't actually make it into level 8, but, well, the map was pretty easy to find here. So an early map is always great to find. We got a helmet here, apparently in level 8. But you want to find that map because being shapes, it will really navigate you where you need to place your bombs, which, of course, we know, the whole bomb part of it. But yeah, we definitely want to be able to navigate. So the map early is wonderful in 8, but Redbird is going to abandon for right now.
Yeah, he was bomb blocked because he did not have any bombs. So he was unable to make any progression, whereas Nora will be able to. The good news, though, is right outside of that dungeon, there were like 4 different bomb-dropping enemies ready to give you some, but Redbird moving on to vanilla level 1 and a bomb drop while he's at it. Maybe 2. Nope.
Of course, you'll get the bomb drop after you really need it, but gonna head into vanilla level 1 here and find level 5. So as is typical with these seeds, you're gonna get a lot of the big levels first. For some reason, it just happens like that. So we're gonna see RBG explore a little bit. Now, you saw him exit and re-enter. He was trying to see if he could open up the left wall there by doing so. Obviously, nothing open, so there wasn't anything there. He is on the bottom, so we know immediately level 5 is 100% ladder blocked.
Yeah, not surprising. That seems to happen a lot with level 5. A lot of ladder blocks in there, and Noraystra got key blocked in level 8 after making it past the initial bomb block, so you need bombs and keys to get in there.
Yeah, so a lot of blocks early, nothing really progressive for these runners. So RBG is going to go ahead and screen wrap his way over towards the grave area. There's a shop here that you can check to see if the candle is there, which it isn't, but man, the bombs, the arrows, and the cheap meat are all there. Good knowledge to have. And then also this Armos statue, which does carry our item, and it is a heart.
Alright, so, it's not the item they were looking for, but it is knowledge, and it is one step closer to Redbird's ultimate plan with overworld routing, which includes having 6 hearts before he gets over to the white sword.
Yeah, getting a heart in a dungeon or as the Armos item is actually really nice because there are 2 what we call gift shops, or take any one you want caves, and which are basically right along the route that you'll take going to level 2 and possibly level 8 and level 5 over on the east side of Hyrule. So you can actually route in 6 hearts to have the maximum requirement for the white sword item.
Yep, and now for Redbird, he has 1 fewer of those he has to route in. Or no, I guess no, he'd still need to he would have to get both of them, but yeah. He has found level 2, and level 2 has a transport staircase in it, which is not something we're used to seeing in level 2.
No, segmented and apparently ladder block too, but more disgustingly, this too has whiz ropes.
Yeah. Where are my ropes and red gorillas at?
I don't know, but this too is triple segmented.
I'll say, and we find another staircase. And here's our map. What a lovely level 2.
Yeah, I'll let chat have fun with that one. However, Nora is currently trying to screen scroll over towards the grave. Screen scrolls are a trick that are never required in the randomizer to complete a seed, but it can definitely help expedite time. But trying to find that pixel and get that one frame tap is difficult sometimes. So Nora finally gets it and heads up to the grave and is going to be joining Redbird here in level 2 very shortly.
Man, that is a huge room of Gibdos that Redbird just cleared out and did not get a single bomb drop out of any of them.
So, of course, right afterward, we're going to have a huge room of likes. It's Nora in here as well. Both of them did have to spend a bomb early to find out where they had to go. Now, maps are generally located within relatively finite bombing necessity. Typically, you'll only need maybe a maximum of one bomb to find the map, and that bomb spot will be very early on in the level. But it definitely can be difficult to try to find where you need to go if you don't have that map, and trying to find that map can be difficult. RBG does find the Triforce here, but it's killing all these likes because, well, both of our items are probably located in the bottom half of 2 here.
They actually are not. Noraystra found one of them in the third room of that first segment that Redbird never went into, I don't think. It was the magic boomerang, which, I mean, as you all know, is the best boomerang.
Definitely do not understand why he did not pick that up. Actually, I do understand. Now, some runners this early on with as few hearts as Nora has and everything else will opt to pick it up because it can stun enemies and it can make combat a little bit easier. But Nora opting not to pick it up, it does add another item to your inventory, and it may not make much use. So, yeah.
It was more of a combat issue probably for Nora. There were blue lantern molas, and it was in a Triforce shaped room. And he was coming from the left, kind of like Redbird is right now.
Yeah, that's like the worst, and it seems to always happen.
It's the nastiest setup because if you're entering from the right, you can hang out in the doorway and try to cheese your way to victory. It doesn't quite work out on the left.
And the bad part for
Redbird bombs.
Yeah, I was gonna say the bad part for Redbird is typically in level 2, unless there's an old man, you can bomb through any wall to get to the next room. So he could have went around and entered from the bottom if the old man isn't below here. But yeah, not having bombs makes that a little more difficult. So he's opting to kill Gleok instead.
Yeah, and I am certain as he gets a bomb drop, I'll say he's not going to get any sympathy whatsoever from Noraystra for not having any bombs in that situation.
Oh my goodness, the old man's below that room.
Yep.
This flammable room's required.
If you want to find that other item, you got to go through the caffeinated land mola. Although, maybe not. I mean, it could be that the other item is ladder blocked up in that nasty portion that we saw earlier.
Very true. And the land molas are going to tell Redbird, just go check elsewhere. You're not going to buy yet. And Noraystra is going to find the very same room.
He opts to use his one bomb on the land molas, and it doesn't work out for him. There's the magic boomerang. My man Redbird picking it up.
Yeah, so he will have that ability to sort of stun some enemies. Of course, Wizrobes and Dark Nuts are still immune to that, so it doesn't help against them. But hey, a room full of likes and Gibdos and stuff like that, it can still come in quite handy.
Yeah. My favorite use of it is against Lionels in dungeons, although there are no Lionels in dungeons in this seed, it would look like.
Yeah, we did see a few on the overworld, I believe. My favorite use of them is actually just because there's no point to it, but doing the swag block clips with the boomerang.
That can be fun as well. Now, Redbird did demonstrate a wonderful use of the boomerang in that room with those likes. I will say in swordless situations, they are a tremendous asset to have, but yeah, here it looks like both runners picking up their Triforce and saying, you know what, enough with finding that second item, we'll move on to something else.
Redbird is deciding that moving on is back to level 8. He does have 2 bombs and a key now, so he will be able to make a little more progression than what we've seen already. But yeah, level 8 can be quite nasty, especially with all the blocks and everything. He may see himself running short on bombs very, very quickly, and well, there's always a Patra here too.
Yeah. Literally, there will always be that Patra right there, and Redbird deciding he's going to try to take it out while he has sword beams. He's going to try to go ahead and attack this Patra.
Yeah, the expanding Patra is actually kind of easy to sort of gauge how you're going to fight it, because it's sort of a pattern of, you know, so many rotations, and then it will expand and do 3 rotations and then contract again and stuff like that. But if you take out the wrong Patra, which we call the keystone, you can pretty much set him in a specific order. And well, Redbird got a little too close for comfort.
Yeah, I would choose the spiraling Patra over the expanding one every day of the week. Because it's easier to hide from it.
Yeah, I don't mind the expanding one. It is harder to hide, but the reason I don't mind the expanding one is because he can't go haywire like the rotating one does.
Alright, it's time for Redbird to make a choice here. He goes north and finds another Patra.
And has to kill that one in order to progress left. Maybe we'll be able to bomb up. We'll have to see, but if not, we'll either have to go find another key, or he will have to kill this Patra.
Yep. He is discovering those are his options. This Noraystra finds the Triforce in level 3. Wants to explore further, but is going to need a key drop in this room to do so. He gets it, though.
Yeah, very lucky, because there was no way for him to do the famous Kanana key. So, is able to explore and may have the item here, unless this is a transport in a segmented dungeon. He is going to check it, and what do we have?
We have a transport in a segmented dungeon.
Now, here is an opportunity for that Kanana key. He did not actually go for it. He proceeded right first into a room with a bunch of moblins.
It's not a tough room to deal with, but it's a bummer because you know, being in Ganon's room, that you're not going to get a key drop.
Yeah, and opts to head back and just take this transport, trying to find any sort of progression through the level, maybe find the items that he would need. So RBG going to go ahead and grab his 6 heart container here. This will guarantee that he can get the white sword item when he heads up there, and Nora is going to get the map, so he'll be able to see exactly where he has to bomb and go for his potential items.
Yep. Of course, key blocked. Because why not? And we're going to get a look at one of our free items here on Redbird's side. It's another heart container. So, heart containers as for the overworld items so far. I don't think we've seen the coast item yet, though.
No, but this is definitely bringing me joy. If I'm going to be staying up late, I might as well be able to see these two have to deal with a little bit of misery.
Oh, and speaking of situations where you'd love to have the boomerang, right now, Noraystra really wishing he had that boomerang for this room. Although he manages to pull off the Kanani key without it, and immediately be ladder blocked. Oh man.
This is just too much. Redbirdgrad actually finding a great level up at level 5, and this is level 1. Very, very small, 3 items. We'll see what enemies he may have to encounter here. Well, first he gets
a mugger
encounter
room
a
to start
mugger.
And then Dark Nuts.
Yeah,
so...
so
now? Ugh.
And of course, there's a shutter room, so you can't even, like, oh, and the red Dark Nuts rolled up.
They did indeed.
I imagine there's probably going to be some select words heard not on stream from some of our runners right now. And Redbird is taking his time to go ahead and kill out these blue Dark Nuts who obviously have the ability of vision because they turn away from the bombs.
Yeah. Never does the game know more than when the game is Dark Nuts.
But he is able to get through there and progress a little bit. Now, level 1, about the worst thing about the level is it can be very key heavy. And, well, we see that nice little 0 beside both of our runners and with their keys. So we'll have to see if they run into any issues with this. Nora deciding not to deal with the mugger right now and is going to go left instead.
Yeah, that was pretty consistent with his play in the first race as well. Was much more cautious about giving up things to the mugger room, seeing if he could find another way around it. But it's looking like just oh wait, I was looking at Redbird's screen. I was looking at like just more key blocks, but it's key blocks for him too, I guess.
Yeah, is going to kill this room of blue Dark Nuts just to try to see if he is able to get a key or at least one of the items as the floor drop here. So we'll see if he gets anything.
He gets a raft.
So at his progression, it is required to beat the seed. One of our levels will be guaranteed to be at the vanilla level 4 location, but that's all he's doing in level 1 right now.
Yeah. Say, unless that raft gets us the ladder or the magical key, it doesn't really feel like it's doing squat for these runners right now.
No,
at least from their perspective.
Yeah, and basically Nora and Redbird are going to cross each other's paths here and find out, not much great is going on. Nora exiting without the raft though, so that may give Redbird a little bit of an early advantage here. Maybe potentially being able to check out that level at level 4 and maybe finding a bit more progression or maybe offense or defense.
Now, who would want to put a Lionel on that white sword screen? That just seems cruel.
The developers?
Well, who is more cruel than they?
Yeah, they definitely had some mean thoughts here. So Nora apparently contemplating whether he really made a smart move playing this seed that he saw me. Oh, there's the ladder. Did Nora not kill that room then? Or did he grab ladder and we just missed it?
Nah, I don't think he ever cleared that room. I think he either died or got out of there.
Yeah, Chad is confirming he died. So, oh man, that is definitely huge for Redbird coming out of there. See how long it takes him to also get back to the coast to check out that item. Apparently is maybe going to the raft. Oh, he's trying for a bomb drop first.
Yeah, giving it the old college try on bomb drops, but not finding a lot of enemies to accommodate his request currently.
Now, Nora trying to make a decision on where he wants to go and what he wants to do. Level 4 added to the null location. So the big thing for Nora is he is going to have to get back to level 1 because it may be what opens up the seed for him. It definitely gave Redbird more options, and we'll definitely see what's over on the coast. If it's something like the bow or, the recorder, it could be, or even the any key, it could be huge.
Yeah, I think any key might be the biggest thing he can find right now, because there is yet another dungeon that the runner is leaving due to a key issue.
So I'm calling it right now before Redbird even does the world wrap over there. We're going to see another heart on the coast.
Seems about right.
So looks like Nora may be making the play to go back up to level 1, which is the correct play. Or no. Oh, that's right. He never made it to the white sword item.
Yep, the Lionel did him in. The good news is, if it's more than 4 hearts to pick up, it's not a huge loss for him. Just another heart container.
And does go ahead and head back to start, and maybe heading back over towards level 8, level 2. Oh man, it's the Aniki.
Almighty Bobino proving his almightiness in chat. Called it. Any key for ladder item.
And suddenly, Redbird's seed opens up greatly.
Yeah. That it's one room in level 1. I mean, that's, I never, you never want to call a race when both runners each only have one Triforce and you're 20 minutes in. But that is a huge advantage for Redbird, unless Noraystra finds a way to get back up to level 1 and find the ladder soon.
Yes, hunting around for some bombs right now. Probably will pick up the heart container here at Monocle Rock. Then may give it another try. We'll see, since he is staying up here, or coming back up here, if he will give it another attempt at level 1. He knows there's a possibility of that item. And with 6 hearts, it's a lot easier than with 4 hearts.
Yeah. My thought here is he's probably going to collect some money, as he did right there. Yeah. Kind of thought he might go up to the 100 secret up in the northeast, but he's picking up the medium secrets for the time being, as Redbird finds an item, and I can let everybody guess what it's going to be, because it's pretty much the only thing we've found.
Yeah, he's picking up a lot of these mediums and smalls, so it looks like he's actually going to go purchase the candle and head into vanilla level 8 to see if that dungeon might have something.
It is going to get him into the forest dungeons quicker than Redbird. The only issue is shy of picking up a lot of keys, or maybe coming across the wand. I just don't know if there's a whole lot that he's going to find in here that's going to get him on par with where Redbird's at right now.
I would say maybe the only other thing would be the red ring, because it will give him a huge boost in combat. So he may be able to go back to level 1, take out that room, and get through some of these a lot quicker. But, of course, it's level 7, and, well, nothing good happens in level 7.
That's a good call. Red ring would probably be... That might even be the best thing he could find, shy of the things that we know can't be there.
So he's going to do a little exploring in here. Redbird is heading back into level 4. He still has the floor item that he has to find in here, so he's going to do a little more exploring. Not a bad call. 4's not entirely entirely huge, so probably doesn't have many more rooms to be able to have to explore.
So Noraystra, desperately hoping that was going to be an item, turns out to just be a transport staircase. Although he is going to pick up a key here, so not the worst thing to find.
No, and he's actually already been to the room in the south, so he doesn't even need to burn that key. He's instead trying to look for a path north. Already having the compass and the knowledge of where the Triforce is able to just sort of blitz through some of these rooms. He is still killing them just to hope for that item that's the floor drop, but doesn't have to do as much as if he was still looking for the Triforce too.
Oh man, so there's where the segment comes in place. That staircase that we saw earlier. And now he is locked inside this ladder-blocked room. So
Yeah, and the bad thing about that ladder-blocked room is you actually had no way of even killing the Zols to see what they potentially carry or drop in that room. So the Chevy room really not proving very advantageous for Nora at all before he has to up A. And he's going to do it again because he was getting beat up by the fireballs.
yeah, just absolutely whooped up on there. And looks like Redbirdgrad picked up the white sword while we were musing at those Dodongos.
Yeah, so 4 has at least one good thing for Redbird, and he's going to come back into 8 because he knows there's key blocks and also has a much better weapon for, some of those annoying Patras.
Of course, for Redbird, he's going to find key drops everywhere now that he doesn't need them.
Oh, that's how it always happens. And a really quick Triforce here in level 8.
That
3
becomes
items?
a decision.
3 items, still need the recorder, bow, and silvers. Does he go back in? He does
Doesn't
not.
appear like yet.
Which isn't horrible. I mean, we still have, some smaller dungeons left to explore. Level 3, another item still in level 1. I believe we didn't see any of the items, or did we see both items in 2?
No, I think we only saw that magic boomerang, and then
that's right.
That Landmola room.
The Landmola room, yes. And just like last race. Just like last race. So that's bad news for Nora because he's done a lot of digging for something that's that. So we'll see if he keeps digging for this other item. I'm assuming he's going to because he didn't go where the Triforce is.
Yeah, and the bad news for him is, you want to find that floor item. You want the floor item to be the one you find. That if you're going back in to redig a dungeon, you want it to be the staircase item you're looking for, so that you have so fewer rooms that you have to worry about clearing.
Yeah, and speaking of level 7, Redbird has entered his favorite place in all of the world.
You might be hard-pressed to get him to admit it, but he likes shapes level 7.
Oh yeah, it's so much smaller. And he's going to get his early Triforce here, so he'll pick it up, and my guess is he'll re-enter. Oh, never mind, it's level 7. He might not.
He is gone. He wanted, level 8, he had a decision to make. Level 7, that's exactly what he wanted to find.
Yep. He out of here. Nora is still exploring, so this could be the potential key for Nora to help him catch back up is, well, anything that, well, never mind. He doesn't have bombs again.
Yeah, that has been the story of the evening for Noraystra. In situations where he needs a little edge to pull ahead, tries something that Redbird doesn't, he finds himself without the necessary resources. Redbird go-moding another dungeon.
Yeah. My guess is he returns to this one, though.
That seems like a fair assessment.
So he'll be going through looking for the other items here. We'll see if Noraystra returns into 7. Well, it'd be pointless to return into 7 without bombs, but we'll see if... looks like he may be making a play on 3 as well.
I should point out that my term go-moding was colloquial. Redbird is not in go mode.
No, he still has quite a bit to discover. But the rate this seed is currently going, my guess is silvers are going to be in 9.
It's hard to say at this point because there's still just so much that has not been explored.
And Nora opting to basically get the Triforce and get out of there, probably looking for another bomb drop, and of course not finding it at all.
Redbird appears to have found an item, and I'll let you guys decide what it is.
Is getting into that magic sword range. Already having the white sword, not as important for him, but we'll see if he does make a play, especially at the fact that hearts are all we're finding, it seems.
Yeah, the only thing against that is I believe he's already been to where it's cleared out the dungeon over by the grave.
Well, that was level 2, so if he does need to find another item and chooses to go back there, he may check it then, as he goes back for like the Lamola room if needed. So that would be about the only way I think we would see him check.
Yeah, and fasten your seatbelts. Noraystra has returned to level 1, but is finding himself in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, went the wrong way to start, and was already only at 2 hearts. And I can tell you, the most trivial of rooms, if you add bubbles to them, they become so much more difficult. You add traps to them, they become so much more difficult because you're worrying about things that you normally wouldn't have to worry about. So Nora's actually trying to clip up into the block here so he can just sort of fight from a protected space.
But it's hard to clip into that block because you're constantly having to get out of the way of the traps. Also, it seems as though Nora's just having a general difficulty in this seed so far, getting lined up on the spots that he wants to be lined up on. That'll come sometimes. You know, it happens to the best of us all. Sometimes you just can't find yourself getting on the spot you want to get on.
Yeah, and is abandoning 1 right now. Once again without bombs too. But yeah, I think that's one of the big things is, sometimes it's important when you're playing, if you're continuously dying or, you can't figure something out, to just take a second and breathe and recollect yourself, because the worst thing is to sit there and continuously have to deal with, death after death after death because you're so frustrated and you're just trying to rush everything. Redbird is returning to 1 as well, looking for this staircase item.
I mean, I can't blame him. We're still, he's at a bit of an impasse. Although he really needs to get a candle so that he can. Or has he gotten his candle yet?
Yes, he has, because he was in vanilla level 7. I mean, vanilla level 8, where level 7 is.
Okay, that's right. I was just saying, I was like, he really needs to get his candle. But okay, so yeah, I mean, still looking for recorder and bow and silvers. I mean, that's 3 items, 2 of which will not be in level 9. And he really wants to see if he can find those in level 1 instead of, say, level 6.
Yeah, Nora using his 4-pack of bombs just to try to do some damage to these enemies, and uses them all up without killing any, and then unfortunately just takes another death there. So really beating his head in, and we know one of the big plays, he does need to go down that way eventually, but one of the big plays is actually to the left.
Yeah, and that was a room where he successfully implemented his strategy of clipping into the block, but then was having to worry about Keese, chasing down Keese, and was not able to get that taken care of. Redbird finds the compass and reminding us all that nobody had the Triforce out of here yet.
Yeah, Triforce was pretty far down there, and now he has a ladder for this blue dark nut room, and having a ladder and an NSU room with blue dark nuts makes them extremely easy to deal with.
Yeah, completely makes them insignificant. And for posterity, we get to see level 1 shape, and the final item in there, it's something of use.
Oh my goodness, so 1 is huge for us today. The ladder, the raft, the recorder. Redbird can get in to every single dungeon now. The only thing he can't do is kill a pig.
Yeah. I mean, Goma is the only thing that could stop him from a resource standpoint now.
Yeah, so very good decision to actually return there. Seeming his exit from level 8 and level 7 have been a really good idea for him so far. Nora is back into level 8, hoping to find something. Does have more keys than he did previously, but we know that the Patra is guarding most of the level, so we'll see how long he takes in here before he abandons all hope and grabs the Triforce.
Yeah, I mean, level 8 would almost have to have both bow and silver somewhere that Redbird didn't go, or red ring and bow or something like that. That just to have value in digging at this point for Noraystra. Of course, that's something we know. It's not something he knows. And again, using a bomb, as we uncover the red candle actually in level 8, using a bomb in that situation against a Keese and a Zol. I understand he's trying to get through these rooms, but man, that's a tough way to use your final bomb.
Yeah, especially with potential bomb blocks, and I don't think we've actually seen what enemy set this is that would have the bomb dropper in it, so we don't know how quickly he'll come across the bomb drop.
Yeah, I believe the bomb dropper is Patra.
Well, Gliak decided to help out a little bit and then send Nora back to start. And here we see level 6 underneath the lake.
Alright. Redbird doing what you do. The game gives you the recorder, you put it to use. And he finds level 6, which is the last dungeon for him to discover. As he also found level 9 up in its vanilla spot while we were talking about the red candle.
Yeah, so, I mean, the big thing for Redbird is, what do you decide here? Do you decide, to try again at 2? Or do you decide, okay, level 8 may be the play now? For me, having the map in level 8 and having 3 potential items is the play I would make on his side, but he's going to have a lot of decisions if he, especially if he decides to get the Triforce and bail on level 6.
Yeah, and I kind of think he might do that with level 6, given that, yes, he's cleared out part of level 8, and also that's less of it that he has to explore. Also, now that he has the recorder, going back to any dungeon where he's picked up the Triforce is trivial.
Yeah, absolutely. That's just as nice having the recorder, besides the fact that it's required to get into this area, having it to be able to return to dungeons, knowing that you're required to get it, does make your strategy a little bit different, because if you get Triforces early, you can be like, okay, well, I know I have to get recorder eventually, and if it's not in this dungeon, then I can easily come back here if I need to. So it does seem like Redbird is in good shape at this point. It just matters where the bow and silver arrows are and what order he chooses to progress in.
Yeah, now, I will say, I may have been critical of Noraystra's play to use bombs in the room where he got the red candle, but since picking up the red candle, he has made tremendous use of its capabilities. That repeatable ranged weapon.
Yeah, Wand and Red Candle are both really good items to have just because they are ranged weaponry, and they can do very, very quick cumulative damage. I actually really enjoy having the Red Candle in my arsenal because you can bounce enemies and hit most enemies 3 times with a single flame. And, well, speaking of Wand...
Yeah, Wand and Red Candle, you say.
But not only that, but the Red Candle lets you hit multiple enemies at once, and you don't even have to be right next to them. So a lot of benefit having that Red Candle, unless you're fighting, of course, enemies that are immune to it. Which, Redbird currently is. Good job of clearing out those Wizrobes for the map.
Yeah, I mean, he was fighting those Wizrobes in a phone booth over in the corner. Took some lumps early, but then the pattern kind of settled down, and Redbird did what Redbird does. I mean, you have to know how to live on the edge of danger with enemies like that when you play, the style of play that he does, beating this game without taking any damage, for example.
Yeah, but he is taking damage to this Patra, and we see Patra on both sides right now. Patra owning this seed and our contestants. Also, this is another segmented dungeon for us here in level 6.
Yeah, and those are big segments. We're not talking about a little bit of 2 or 3 rooms here and 4 rooms up there. Those are big chunks to carve out. Oh, and you never want to get into a room like that. Spiral staircase with red Wizrobes waiting to greet you at the door. Nowhere to run.
Yeah, so Redbird is doing a little bit of beating his head in right now. Nora keeps on saying hi to all these Patra littered throughout level 8. And good use of iframes there for Redbird instead of having to fight those likes. And, well, what have you been saying this entire time?
And Redbird finds the staircase item in level 6, and what have we found? Oh, and Noraystra just saw the floor drop in level 8, also a heart container. So he has finally seen everything that there is to see in level 8. He's going to get out of there, but he's going to get out of there in a better place than he was once he picks up this Triforce.
Yeah, and Nora actually Canana-keyed to get that heart container, so good job there, not having the ladder to get the any key. So, I mean, this is big on 2 parts. Nora did spend a little bit of time digging out. He did get a little bit more offense, but we know if Redbirdgrad decides to come back here and dig for silver arrows or bow, he is going to come up empty, which can allow for a little bit of time for Nora to catch up.
Yeah, that's at this point, you go through a dungeon like that, and Noraystra didn't find the bow or silvers, like I said, but he can take two things away from this: one, the upgrade in offensive capability, and two, the hope that Redbird will spend some time in there looking for an important item.
And it looks like Nora is heading back up to the grave area, so gonna do a little more exploration up there. Redbird still navigating now. He is on the northern part of the map now, and of course it is just all lakes, so a lot of combat needed.
Yeah, that's the kind of room you'd like to have the red candle or the wand in, you might say.
Yeah, it did a really good job of getting them all trapped for that candle flame, though, able to get 3 hit points of damage against every single like. And we see he is in the general area for the Triforce. Now, does he grab it and go, or does he choose to... Well, he is going to explore a little bit more here.
Yeah, he saw the Triforce and did not hesitate for a second to continue to look around. Finds a bomb upgrade worth 3, since he had downgraded to 7 earlier, so that's an upgrade of 3.
Yeah, so not a bad purchase. Probably figures he doesn't need to purchase anything else, and does know he still has a few large secrets available, and that's a funny staircase.
Whoa. So that room, there is a staircase that leads to that room and that room only? Yeah. And it's not even segmented?
Yeah, so the second staircase will lead to that room. And here's the funniest part about that. That room can still potentially have a drop.
Yep. And then Redbird finding himself on the business end of that nasty blue Wizard room, unable to boost his way around it a second time.
Yeah, did a really nice trick the first time through, using the blue candle to take half a heart of damage to get past them with the iframes, rather than taking the full 2 hearts of damage that you would normally take with a bop from the Wizard.
Alright, looks like he's... So I'm wondering if south of that blue Wizard room that he just noped out of, is that the way to get to that, to get to the final item here in level 6? It almost has to be at this point.
Yeah, he's gonna opt to take the Triforce here. We'll see if he re-enters. This could definitely just be a I want the health refill type mentality. Having beam swords and 10 hearts is a lot better than just a heart and a half. And Nora back in level 2, trying to take out these Lammola, got down to 1 single segment left and took the death, so is going to have to try again.
Yeah. Now, it looks like the more likely play for Redbird here is he still needs 3 items, still has 3 items in level 5 that he hasn't picked up. He now has the ladder and the any key and 10 bombs, so exploration is his ability to explore significantly increased from the last time he was in there about 45 minutes ago.
Yeah, and level 5 had that really quick ladder block, so he knew nothing was explored. He knew that the ladder was absolutely 100% required, so definitely is not a detriment to hold off on this, and will and actually pretty much, other than the 1 extra item in 2, is one of the smaller dungeons he has left, so definitely not bad to maybe spend a little bit of time in here searching.
Yeah, level 5 is not a dungeon I like to see early, like he did, just because of all those, all the potential for ladder blocks and the decent size of it. But now is a good time to be in it when you're still looking for the bow and silver arrows, and it's this or level 6 or 8.
Yeah, and actually, funny enough, I actually like seeing level 5 early because it does tend to have a larger amount of keys, which would have been great for the runners early on because of all the key blocks, but Of course, now with any key, this is just a dungeon that you don't like to deal with, just because it's more annoying than anything.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the propensity for keys is great until you're ladder blocked in the first room, I guess.
I mean, there's still the chance for the keys. It's just when the ladder leads to all the keys.
Yeah, kind of negates the whole purpose in that situation. So, but Redbird on a mission to dig some stuff out of here, and again, can't blame him. His options are here: level 6, level 7, or level 8, more or less.
So Nora gonna give this another go. 4 hearts, so we can take 1 hit from the blue Limola, and Redbird gonna pick up the compass here. And Nora, unfortunately, not able to get past them before he does take the death. Redbird finding one of the items in here. It is not the bow, it is not the silver arrows, it is another heart.
What a shock. The dream is dead, but nobody is surprised.
And yeah, this 5 is pretty much on par with every 5 that we've been seeing now. And oh my goodness, having to spend another bomb to get through here, and isn't even rewarded with the staircase.
Found a key is what he found. But it did save some. I mean, you know, there was no other way out of that room other than to up A, and it just felt like a huge time sink to do that. I would presume on Redbird's part.
Yeah, just gonna grab the Triforce here. Now, Redbird gets to play the game of what dungeon do I want to return to?
I'd say level 5. But I would be wrong. He's probably going to go to 8.
He's going to... Oh, I was going to say he's going back to 7, but yes, it does look like 8 is going to be the call for him here. I think every one of us would have been shocked if his first dungeon he returned to was level 7.
Yeah. Just didn't seem likely. I mean, it wouldn't have been the worst play in the world. But, I mean, he has 3 items, I believe, still unaccounted for in level 8. At least 2 items, though. But pretty sure 3.
Really good job of hitting that mini Patra there. Avoiding a lot of damage early on. Does take 1 hit, but is able to set up for a much quicker kill for Patra. Unfortunately, it won't be rewarded with much here.
Yeah, the only reward here is to never have to see that Patra ever again.
Which, I mean, that is a very nice consolation prize.
It is a reward in and of itself. Now, this is one of the item rooms. He's going to find the red candle here. I tend to believe we won't see him pick it up, but at least it's information he can work with.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much every item he sees is also recalculating his probability of whether he wants to gamble on silvers being in 9 or not. A lot of runners will sit there and calculate, okay, how many more items do I have? And may decide, okay, I would rather go to level 9 and get information on Ganon and Zelda while looking for silvers, rather than search, say, level 7. So we may see him gamble, especially with Power Bracelets still being out there as well.
Yeah. The good news for Redbird is the wand is in that little room off to the left in the first E column in the word level. Him having the any key, the magical key, is blocked by a key door. He's not going to think twice about whether or not he should check that room, since he doesn't have to worry about using up his resources.
Yeah, he's definitely going to check the items anyway, just because that is exactly what he needs, is just 2 items. He has all the Triforces, so it is just a matter of getting the bow.
Yeah. At this point, if you think if he comes across the bow, I mean, theoretically, if this were the bow right here, you think he goes to level 9 at that point?
The only exception I think he might make is maybe checking level 2, being in a lot better situation to take out the Lammola. Even if he finds the bow anywhere else, I think he makes that play now. But he is not searching for floor items. He is looking for the ladder items, and it looks like that's 1, 2 to the right. He may be going back to level 2 right now.
Noraystra, hanging on by a thread there, gets the ladder. Man, that was close because he had that down to 1 Dark Nut left with very little damage done to him. Took a few hits, and then we were a little concerned there for a minute.
Yeah, Nora actually is going to be very upset once he gets through this level 1, because not only did his ladder lay there, but he's going to find out that both of the progression items are also here. And he knows Redbird's capabilities, and he's going to believe, and rightfully so, that Redbird is far ahead of him right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's the only assumption one can make, even if it weren't correct.
Redbird is checking the Chevy room first before heading down to Lammola, because this could be a potential drop, but it is not. So those 2 blue Lammola were definitely required in the seed. Now, maybe not to get anything good. We might just see another heart container or the book.
Yeah, book and power bracelet, red ring still at large.
The way the seed has been, the red ring would probably be behind a combat room like this. So I wouldn't be at all shocked if it was there.
Yeah, there's no reason to kill some of these rooms, and then it turns out that there's that they're blocking an important item. It's just a rough feeling to have.
And Nora was key blocked out of 1, so ended up going and getting a large secret, probably to buy a key, but unfortunately does get stabbed there by Lionel on his way. Redbird, taking out one of the Lammola, leaves the room to clear out the other one, and we will see what this item is very shortly.
He's gonna pick it up, and I know what he is saying right now. He's saying, "I earned that," and he did. Spent 4 bombs killing Lammola. So now all of a sudden we see Redbird with 12 hearts, and he's at the grave.
Yeah, that's the other reason he picked it up. He knew he was right at the grave, so this is the best opportunity to check. We'll see if 12 hearts is enough for Magical Sword, and it is.
It is. Well, now he's trying Ace Execution to warp straight to Zelda's room, it looks like, out in the grave with the recorder.
I mean, I guess you take that as solace for the seed that you were at least able to pick up Magical Sword not at 14 hearts.
Yeah. But I can guarantee you that Redbird is none too thrilled about approaching an hour into this race and still not knowing where the bow or the silver arrows are.
No, and I can guarantee the same thing is going on in Nora's head, because not only does he need bow and silver arrows, he is still lacking the recorder and the raft. All of his progression is still missing. He has to be wondering, where do I check? What do I do? Luckily, I already cleared out the biggest dungeon, but I mean, needing keys pretty much everywhere is Nora's big problem right now. Forgetting possibly that the Any key was on the coast.
Yeah, he did take a peek and saw that, but has not made it back over there. that, and then just not being able to complete level 1. Another in a continuing group of issues in this seed for him, while Redbird is over here forcing bombs on Tektites.
Yeah, doing the really good idea of continuously just clipping into the staircase, killing some keys, exiting, re-entering, just to build a count. And here's the ladder block, I think, that Nora encountered earlier.
Yeah, that's right. It's been a long time since we've been in level 3.
But here is our potential item.
A staircase. Who'd have thunk it? And Redbird doing another good force there.
Yeah. Nora just taking some very frustrated deaths on the overworld here. Trying to get over to that mini key, so he does remember it.
Alright, so Redbird didn't take that staircase. Did we find the staircase item in level 3?
I'm not sure. He's clearing out this room. This room will not have a drop, so we know for sure there's nothing here. But here's also something very interesting. Just because it did recently happen is Redbird tracks whether he picks up the stair item or the floor item. And the other day, during one of his practice seats, he actually mismarked picking up a stair item when he actually picked up the floor item, and he spent a long time trying to search everywhere because he had the wrong idea of what he needed to look for. So that may have also been a case there in level 3 as well.
Yeah, I just feel like in level 3 we found, staircases, but they were transport staircases, but I could be wrong. Nora's gonna do the world wrap, but I'm hoping that he's still on enough of a plane to be able to pick up the any key if he can get over there.
He is on the half tile, so he will actually pick it up. And then it gets a nice boost onto the platform to be able to walk the rest of the way. Otherwise, he would have actually had to continue to clip all the way over, which would have been very...
Yeah, so the Zora being a bro, as Noraystra now coming back into level 7. He left the Triforce in here earlier because these bombs have been an issue for him.
Yeah, he is being very careful, and actually I like what he's doing there, sort of staying in between the statues to prevent them from actually firing at him. But unfortunately, the Dodongo does move without getting hit by the smoke, so he has to be careful and is able to take it out. We'll grab the Triforce. We'll see if he comes back in for anything in here.
Yeah, we found the boomerang, the wooden boomerang, which I'm pretty sure was that a staircase item?
Yes, that was the stair item.
Yeah, I think that's what made it extra egregious that he picked it up when he skipped over the magic boomerang earlier.
Redbird just trying to find any way up into the top of this level 7. Luckily only a 3-headed Gleeok. I mean, with Magic Sword, that's Child's Play. And oh my goodness, it's the Power Bracelet.
The bow... I mean, are we down to the bow has to be in 3 at this point?
Did we find both items in 6?
Yeah, that's my only question. I mean...
I forget where we've seen all these hearts.
Yeah, there's heart containers everywhere, so...
Typically,
I'm
my brain's a lot better for that, but well, there's our meat block.
And what a meat block it was. I mean, I'm feeling silvers and red ring in level 9. I mean, that's the vibe I'm getting from the seed.
Yeah, well,
Noraystra gonna take the staircase, and oh, it's a heart container.
just from Red. Nora is very angry at the seed.
I can understand why, but yeah.
So, I mean, Redbird has found all but 2 of the hearts, I believe.
Yeah,
because
he gave
if
up.
you pick up the coast heart, the from the gift shop on the coast, because I know he picked up Monocle Rock. So if he picked up the one from the coast, there's 2 take any's that he still has, and there he sees the boomerang, and he realizes that his intuition about 7 always being a waste was true.
Yeah. And he gave a heart back to no, he gave bombs back to the mugger room. He didn't give a heart. There was no.
Yeah, it's been bombs or coins or rupees today.
And really, neither guy having any money to handle that situation.
Well, until now for Nora. Nora's a little more comfortable with the money.
Yep, and looks like he's going to head into uncharted territory in level 3. Meanwhile, Redbird going back to level 4. Don't feel like there's anything in it for him, but maybe I'm misremembering. I mean, he picked up the white sword there. That's all I really recall, so I'm assuming the other items were...
Yeah, it was a heart container in the staircase. So he even misremembers at this point all the heart containers becoming a blur.
Yeah, I mean...
By the way, I may want to avoid talking to either of these runners after this race.
Well, and there it is.
Oh my goodness, the bow is in 3. Nora finding bow
3.
first.
Yeah, at 1 hour, 7 minutes, and 19 seconds, that is.
He needs to go back to level 1 now.
Yeah, he needs to go back to level 1 and level 4, and level 5, and level 6.
Well, he can't get to level 4 and level 6 until he goes back to 1, so let's make 1 to play first.
It looks like that is the play he's making first. So, that's good news for him. Redbird gonna give him a chance here.
And remember, this is all based off of what we've seen so far, and what we haven't seen is the silver arrows. So even if Redbird does get a little bit of an advantage over Nora into 9, I mean, the hunt for silvers could be quite the determining factor in this race. So Nora is, while it does seem a little bleak, he is definitely not out of this yet.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. Until Redbird's in go mode, anything can happen. And I don't think that's happening until we get into level 9, so...
Yeah.
Like I said, yeah. Anybody's race at any point still here.
And the bigger thing right now is Redbird seems a little frazzled. Probably can't remember a few things, or maybe believes he mismarked something. Trying to figure out where to go to look for this bow.
Yeah, and he didn't have... One thing, again, back from the first race. Something that Noraystra had that Redbird didn't. A map. The map in level 3. Redbird doesn't even know that segment up there exists.
Yeah, which is really big. And the other thing that's really difficult for Redbird is all the items he is searching for are floor items. So that is going to be a lot of combat that he's going to continue to do until he finds these items in these dungeons.
Yep.
I may be wrong. Level 5 he may have both items he needs to find. As I said, I kind of forget everything we've seen everywhere.
Yeah.
Even with the tracker right in front of us.
Oh, absolutely. Now Noraystra has a decision here. He's down to 1 heart, and the Triforce is right there. How does he attack this situation? Now he's going to get to play Blue Dark Nuts on the ladder, which is a fun game to play. You'd think he'd get a health drop from one of them, but no dice yet. He gets 1 heart. Okay.
And of course, he's probably loving all the keys that he is seeing now as well. But is going to fight this Aquamantis, get the map, but more importantly, get the recorder.
Yeah, I just wish he had seen the raft on his way to this recorder, so that, there would be 0 chance of him leaving here without it.
He is going to pick up the Triforce, it looks like, but he did check his mini-map to see if he still had places to explore. So there is a chance that we do see Nora come back in here, or he's actually going to go look for the item beforehand.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he's cleared every room, but he had visited every room except for this one key door over here.
Which I believe, was this the one?
We'll have to wait and see.
Redbird finding a staircase in level 5, and it's the transport.
It's a transport. The what feels like a useless transport.
You'll only find the item staircases first when you don't need any more items.
100%. Most notably in level 9.
Absolutely. So, finally finds the item, and he finds the silver arrows.
Wow. Well, that's a game changer, because he's not going to go to level 9 without the bow. But he could have gone to level 9 without the silvers.
Yeah, I mean,
I could have sworn we dug out both items in 5.
The good thing for Nora is he still has to come to 5, so he may choose to dig it out. And it is actually 2 rooms south of the Triforce, so it's not too far removed. So the big thing is that Nora still needs a raft, and Redbird needs to get back to level 3.
Yeah, I just feel like Nora just didn't clear these rooms earlier in level 1. So I'm worried that the raft is in one of these Blue Dark Nut rooms, and he just does not seem equipped at the moment to be taking them on.
Yeah, and the other thing that we have sort of alluded to before, but it is still an issue, is the other enemy that Nora is facing right now, and I'm sure Redbird is as well, is time. Looking at your timer and seeing 1 hour 13 minutes, you have to worry how far behind you are on Redbird's side, not finding the bow yet, on Nora's side, not finding the raft, and just continuously banging your head against a wall trying to get this. Redbird going back to 6 before 3. So really, really interesting just to see the decisions that these runners have to make to try to decide where they're going to go and what they're going to look for to get these items. We know Nora's making the right play, continuously looking for this item here in 1, but it may be too little too late depending on how long it takes Redbird to get back to 3.
Yeah, he's making the right play. It's just, you can tell he's in a hurry just by the way he has been attacking these Dark Nuts. I mean, he's getting too close to them, letting them turn on him, and just kind of standing in their way and letting them, in mid-swing, And I get it. It's rough when you're an hour and 15 minutes into one of these seeds, because believe you me, nobody has spent a higher percentage of their seeds still looking for stuff at this point in it than I have. It's frustrating, but man, running into dark nuts is not going to allow for any progression.
No, and some of Nora's issues with the dark nuts right now is with wand you can actually hit them from both sides of Link because of how the one hitbox is and everything else. So in some instances he's turning the opposite way, but is not actually getting the hit off, and the dark nuts are walking right into his back, and they still do a massive amount of damage because we don't have any type of ring. So you
can only take 2 hits every time he walks in that room.
And I mean, we're even seeing it on Redbird's side. Redbird is starting to rush his combat a little bit and take some unnecessary deaths here. So it looks like he may go to the fairy fountain right now just to collect some health and be able to at least have a little more luck in here. And Nora finally clears out.
There it is. There it is. Now, don't forget to go pick up your Triforce and pay the lady on your way out. Man, it paid off.
So now, I mean, Nora has a lot of collection of Triforces to go, but Nora needs the silvers out of 5. Redbird needs the bow out of 3. Nora doesn't know the silvers are in 5. Redbird might be able to deduce that, he eventually needs to get back to 3, depending on his tracker, but he also needs to figure out that third segment of 3.
Yeah, and for all the great idea that is discretion is the better part of valor, avoiding combat, Nora clearing more rooms allowed him to find that map in level 3 and thusly discover that extra segment and see exactly how many rooms there were and where to go in there.
Redbird finally going to be able to take out this room of blue Wizrobes, get into the far left part of this upper segment, and we'll see what potential item might be here. Is going to clear out a few red Wizrobes just for that bomb drop, but we'll see what the item is here. Of course, there's a Patra.
So, Noraystra picking up his Triforce in level 4. Let's see what kind of gambling mood he's in.
How quickly he beelined to that Triforce. He is actually going to return. Now, we know that 4 does not have the silvers, but it does have a heart and a white sword, which will be at least a little bit of a boost for Nora, but it is precious time that he is losing.
Yeah. I think if he finds one item in here, that might be enough to convince him to continue his travels elsewhere.
And Redbird actually, he is tired of all the deaths he's taking, having to fight all these Wizrobes followed by Patra and everything else. So he goes and grabs the potion out of the Take Any south of Vanilla 1. So he's going to at least have 2 refills on his health, in addition to stopping by the fairy fountain. He is determined to find out what this item is in 6.
Yeah. He's not just tired of the combat. I think he's just plain tired, probably. But both of these runners have been at it now for almost 3 hours between the 2 races.
Yeah, and remember we did see him return to 4, like he was missing an item there. So something else, I wonder if he accidentally marked 4's item in the 3 part of his tracker, and that might be why he hasn't returned to 3 yet.
Yeah, it's always possible that he thought he got both items out of there, or just maybe felt that he was blocked by something that was not passable. We haven't seen a Goma though, like anywhere, have we? So it's not like he could think he was bow blocked.
Yeah, I don't think there's been a single Goma so far in this seed.
So get ready
Which
for
is
level
odd
9.
because yeah, we haven't seen any Dig Doggers either. Just a ton of Patras. But yeah, now able to get through and making quick work of this Patra. And it's just a heart container.
What was the other item in 6? Was it also a heart container?
I don't know. Right there was a staircase to that one off room. Did he maybe not even see either item in 6, and that's why he came back here?
I mean, it's starting to feel that way. Nora finding the heart container in level 4.
Or he may just not remember that he... I think the staircase item in 6 was a heart.
Yeah, that's kind of the direction I'm leaning as well, but in my brain at this point, every staircase item has been a heart, so... So yeah, I mean, Redbird's out there with 13 hearts. Is headed back into level 8. He only saw 2 of the items in here, I think. Yeah, I think he left a heart container on the floor here. So that may be his next play.
Yeah, and if he did leave a heart container on the floor here, that will actually mean that Book and Red Ring are definitely in level 9.
Now, Noraystra pulled up his menu there for a second. It looked like he was only lacking 2 Triforce pieces. And I believe they are levels 5 and 6. And as I say that, Crystal Saver says the same thing in chat. I'm going to trust him because he could have figured that out with his eyes closed.
He probably did. So, more dances with Patra on RBG side, while Nora is back in level 5.
Because why not? I mean... more Patras, please. You hate to see keys on the floor, but it's nice to know that you know what the potential item is in the room.
Yeah, any room that you don't have to clear right now is nice. So even if it is a key, yes, it's a little disappointing, but gets you through the room a little bit quicker.
Okay, so that was not the staircase we were looking for in level 5, although I'm pretty sure this is the room with the compass in it. So if Nora clears these out, he'll know where the Triforce is, and perhaps on his way to the Triforce, we'll find the silvers, and then, inexplicably, Noraystra will be our first runner in Schrodinger's Go mode.
Yeah, once again, struggling to find the pixels for these clips. I know he, because we've had a lot of discussions about this, he's a lot more comfortable with, I believe, the north to south ladder clips, but is trying left to right. Does get the Triforce. Now, is he going to go up towards the Triforce, or is he going to go right here? Right will lead him directly to the silvers. And he goes up.
So he goes up. And finds the heart container, because of course there's a heart container in this dungeon.
I think we've been lied to, and there's just more heart containers than we've actually been led to think. And there, Redbird gets his heart container.
Oh, man. So, Nora, now, again, There's one dungeon where Nora needs the map, and it's the one he doesn't have it in.
I think it was actually, yeah, it was in this room with Aqua Menace.
Okay, so fair enough.
He sees that there's only a few rooms to the south here, so we'll see what he decides to do. Redbird. Is he going back to... Yes, he is going back to...
Oh, Nora picking up the Triforce. So, my statement earlier about Nora being the first one into go mode could be wrong.
Does he return? He does not. That is big for Redbird.
After all these twists and turns.
My goodness, if Nora actually grabs the silvers there, this would have became such an interesting finish.
Oh, wow. Chronoquarium has the question of the century.
Yes, this seed was a seed.
It's been a thing.
And Redbird needs to find that staircase up to the upper quadrant, or upper section of this segment. Finally makes it up there.
Of course, the map being
so
up there.
He never took the staircase, and that's where it was.
Yep. He took it, and the thing is, Noraystra took it earlier and got key blocked immediately, but he at least had the map. So he was, fully aware of its presence. Whereas Redbird just kind of learning about it, or relearning about it now. Needs to be careful here.
Of course he would choose to encounter the Gleeok first. Well, I mean, obviously you're going to make that play since you come across it first, but luckily had the potion here to use on Gleeok. And finally enters the room with the bow.
So it took us 1 hour, 27 minutes, and 25 seconds, but we've made it. And now Redbird will head to level 9, and as we all know, level 9 is as straightforward and simple to figure out as humanly possible, right?
Yes, we're gonna hope for that. I mean, the seed has to do one thing nice, right?
I mean, it did give us ladder, raft, and recorder all in one dungeon. It just wasn't very nice about it.
Not even remotely. Catastrophe, this seed was long because everything else not level 1.
Yeah, everything that wasn't level 1 was terrible. And level 1 was kind of a pain too because of key blocks and dark nuts everywhere.
Level 9 does force you in one direction.
I'm telling you. That's twice in a row now it's taken you away from the right-hand side.
Now, RBG is just running through here. He is going to be listening for a roar. If he hears a roar, he knows that Ganon is going to be in one of the adjacent rooms. He's also going to be looking for a single shutter door that does not open up, and apparently he is also looking for the third mugger of the seed.
Goodness. They've been everywhere.
Nora did take an unfortunate death here in 6, still looking for that Triforce. My assumption is he will then gamble on silvers in 9 at this point.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I have no recollection of where it was, and and Redbird can hear Ganon. Just can't get to him.
Yeah, apparently, I think he's on the bottom row right now, so actually he wouldn't be able to bomb south anyway. But, yeah, we'll see how bad it is to try to actually get over to where Ganon is.
It looks like he's in the bottom left-hand corner, I guess.
And these walls not letting RBG bomb over, so looks like he's going to need a staircase.
Yep. Traverse the stairs it is.
That's not the right side. Well, it is the right side, just not the correct side.
Not the correct side, yeah.
And naturally, can't even get out of there.
Yeah, I mean, level 9, the first seed, level 9, every bomb wall known to man opened up every time you dropped a bomb. So it's only fair that this one is just straight up eating Redbird's bombs left and right.
Nora also must have discovered some flies in level 6 because he was just swatting at them in frustration. Redbird going through and collecting some hearts, but also taking this staircase, hoping it'll lead him somewhere closer. Does take him left, but he's already been in this room.
Yep. That was the story of the first seed to level 9, was going through a staircase only to find a bomb hole. So meaning you'd seen this movie before.
Yes, but I think this is more of a horror movie for our runners, and neither of them wants to witness it again.
Yeah. If we wound up in level 9 encountering Jason instead of Ganon, that might be the icing on the cake. Gotta hope he's in a river room.
Yeah, and just to make things a little bit worse for RPG, one of our favorite bomb-dropping enemies, the Buyers, rolled up in HP, so you can't actually get a bomb from them.
Of course not. I mean, he could hit them with the perfect magical sword wand combo, but fortunately there's also red dark nuts, I believe, in level 9. So he's got something he can work with.
You can also get an ugly trap room like that.
Eh. Oh, looks like he may have a way over into the far left column at least, though.
Yeah, deciding to take out that room just to see if that happened to be Zelda behind the door, but it was not. So he's still going to have a little navigation, but it does look like the path down is right here. So we are soon going to at least have a piggy battle.
Well, Noraystra finding the compass in 6, which we know to be useful. Although he doesn't realize that he doesn't need to still be looking for an item in here.
So Ganon's going to be a relatively quick fight for RBG as long as he does not take any hugs. Down to the Hyrule Driver range, also only can take 2 more fireballs, so has to be careful.
Oh!
Does take a death. Oh my!
That was rough.
Only takes 4 hits with the magic sword, but you know Ganon can do damage and do it quickly, especially in obnoxious rooms like that.
Yep, being offset like that in that river room. Redbird practices those kind of crazy situations as much as anybody. I mean, he was doing it before this race even, I know. But still, you get in there and you got to get 4 hits on him before he gets 4 hits on you. It's not always as easy as it sounds.
Absolutely, and Nora now has all of his Triforce, can head up to level 9. The big thing for him is we know silvers aren't there, so he's gonna not only have to do the exploration that RBG's already done, he's going to actually have to find both items to sort of tell him, well, it's not here. Is making good use out of his silvers, though, to build up counts, at least force the fairy to take him out of the range of, dying to one Hyrule driver immediately. So, at least is aware of that, and doesn't have to take on the Gleeok again.
Yep. And finds a somewhat linear path back to Ganon.
There's still a little bit of 9 to explore for Zelda too, so this is still pretty interesting. I like what he did there. Yeah, check for the red ring.
Yeah, not a bad play. He's probably gonna do it here as well. You think?
I don't blame him if he does. He knows exactly what's in here because he's seen every other item. So I don't blame him at all for checking there. And there we go. There's the stun lock.
Yeah.
Luckily, he had more than one rupee.
Yeah. So much for the difficulty that he had in the first fight. Completely non-existent in this scenario. So now we're just waiting for that shutter door to pop open.
Yeah, he's immediately taking a staircase just to try to get to a part of level 9 he hasn't seen yet. Of course, he's already seen that room. So he's going to go up instead.
Yeah, I think we'll start to see him take staircases at a much higher rate than previously. Meanwhile, Noraystra in level 9, unfortunately, he's gonna have to discover 2 items in here before he knows that he's not in the right place.
And we're not even sure how easy those items are going to be to come across because, well, we see all the difficulties that Redbird's still having trying to get through all the different parts of this level.
Yeah, it's been no joke. Just a winding path in every which way so far for him. Although it looks like Noraystra's in a room that Redbird hasn't been in. Maybe this will at least be an item for him. It is, and of course it's the book. Because why wouldn't it be?
Redbird in a new section, he's able to progress through with keys and some open doors, so may be able to get to the kidnap soon. Also finding a few potential staircases as well.
Yeah. Now he's just gotta decide which one of these staircases is his favorite.
Was able to get a bomb drop off those dark nuts. Definitely a good thing because, boy, if it became another bomb issue.
Yeah. We've seen one of those already tonight.
So no bomb walls yet. Does he get it one out? No. Dead end.
So he's gonna take this key door down. It
New
does
area.
a little slightly new area, yeah, perhaps. A very new area.
And there we have it. Door opens and RBG is finally going to take this one. Official SRL time of 1:38:42. And immediately upon seeing that, Noraystra is over.
Yeah, he picked up the compass at the same moment that Redbird walked into Zelda's room.
I'm sure RBG will be here shortly. Do I get to talk to you, Nora, or do I have to leave?
So, Liquid, how are you doing tonight?
Well, better question might be how we're doing this morning at this point.
Hey, yeah, that sounds about right for me.
Good morning here in the Central Time Zone. Man. All I'd say, I would say it to Redbird just the same as to you. And here he is now, so I'll say it. And you guys didn't want to have a talk after the first race.
Yeah. Where were silvers?
Level 5.
Well, of course.
2 rooms south of the or 1 or 2 rooms south of the Triforce. You grabbed the Triforce and decided.
I was so far behind. Yeah, I was so far behind. I knew I was. I had to gamble that silvers were 9. I had no choice.
You know, you say that, but had you picked up the silver arrows at that moment, you would have been the first. You would have been the first player to be in "quote unquote" go mode.
Yeah. Where were silvers?
Level 5.
It's not the way I wanted to go out. Not
2 rooms south of the or 1 or 2 rooms south of the Triforce. You grabbed the Triforce and decided.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
was so far behind. Yeah,
that was a heck of a seed for both of you.
Silvers were 9. I had no choice.
As I said, like I know there's not much I can say to really make you guys feel better, but
you would have been the first. You
Yeah.
would have been the first player to be in "quote unquote" go mode.
25 deaths. It's not the way I wanted to go out. Not.
Yeah, both of you guys hit double digits in this seed, in that category. Aided, of course, by the fact that the red ring was the only item left to find in level 9.
As I said, like I know there's not much I can say to really make
so
you guys feel better, but
how many staircases are in 3?
Yeah,
Too many.
One more than you thought.
Yeah. So on my tracker, I have a big X over a
25
staircase that
deaths.
leads you to the other side with the bow. And so I am looking for a
both of you
bomb
guys hit
hole
double digits in
swearing
this
up and
seed,
down.
In that
Like,
category.
I bombed every
Aided,
wall, maybe a couple
of
walls
course, by the
twice.
fact
I mean,
that
it was
the
just,
ring
I
was the
mismarked
only
an item in 4. I
left to
mismarked an
find
item in
in
5 that I
level
thought
9.
I had. Like, I just made so many errors this seed. It's not even funny. How many staircases are in 3?
Too many.
yeah.
One more than you
It's
thought.
crazy.
Yeah,
We were trying
so
to figure out, like
On my tracker, I,
mentioned,
have
you
a big
know,
X over a staircase that leads
the
you to
fact
the other
that
side with the
you
bow.
the
And
seed that you
so
played the
I
other
am
night when
looking
you
for a
mismarked
bomb
something as a
hole
floor drop and you're
swearing
looking
up and
for
down.
the
Like,
floor drop and you
I
already
bombed-
had it and everything, and thought that it may have been something along those lines, and that's what it happened to be. And we're like, when's he finally going to go back there? Maybe he believes he has both items in 3, and so yeah, that was crazy, and especially because the map was on the other side of that staircase.
Yeah, that's the hard part about it too, and it complicated it. But I mean, it's a fair map. That map is accessible, so it wasn't the map's fault. But like on my tracker right now, I don't have a floor item that I got in 4, so that's why I went through 4 a couple times. I don't have the stair items in 5 or 6 marked, so I'm sitting there thinking there's 3 more levels that I've got to go back to again. Still, I did a terrible job of tracking this race. It was so bad.
Yeah, you managed to find actually every single item except the book and the red ring in 9. You found every other heart container. So, just a crazy seed overall. And I mean, to be completely honest, it's one that I would like to take back because, oh my goodness, like on top of all the horrible item placement, the amount of Patras and other enemies that you guys had to take on just to get everything was insane.
Well, it's like in 2, we had a left-hand side Lamola, blue Lamola, that after 2 staircases, if you die there, you got to go back through. Like, it was just, like you said, the Patras in 8, it was bad. And Nora, I don't know if I was muted before. I apologize. GG's.
You were. Yeah, GG's. That was garbage. And then keys. Like, I couldn't find a key to save my life, and any key sitting on the thing, and you're like, okay, well, where's ladder?
Yeah, I kind of leapt into ladder and raft pretty early, and then I went back and got the recorder in 1, and I'm like, well, 1 had the goods. But then after that, I because of my mismarking, I couldn't find the bow to save my life. It's actually probably a good thing because I found the silvers that way in 5. If I'd have found the bow in 3, just like regularly doing 3 and went through the stair and everything like that, I'd have been in 9 digging for silvers like all day long.
Yeah, I mean that was my plan. Once we hit about an hour 20, I'm like, okay, you're at 9. My only option is to go for 9 and assume Silvers are there and just pray that I'm right. And then I find the better path. That's the only option I had. I think if I played straight up and looked, because I still have an item in 2, an item on the floor in 6 and 7, and I believe a stair item in 6 as well. So I'm gonna go dig horrible dungeons.
That left-hand side item in 2 after the blue whiz robes, you had to go around the left hook, was a heart container. I was so mad, dude.
Yeah, I found the blue boomerang and I never found anything else in 2. I was just like, whatever, I'm done. Give me the Triforce and let me out of here.
Yeah, after those blue whiz robes, you had a Patra in a Gliok room. It was a nightmare scene.
Yeah, I want to say I had 3 Triforces at like 50 minutes. It's the most disgusting I've felt playing one of these seeds in a long time.
I had 8 at 51, but then
Yeah.
it took me 47 minutes to find the bow and kill Ganon.
Yeah, it was definitely, there was that moment where the Triforces were 8-3, and yet we were still looking at a situation where Redbird clearly has some sort of reasoning, with his tracking, we would assume, that's keeping him from going back to level 3, so it's just a matter, at that time we're like, it's just a matter of time before Noraystra's in the lead, if this keeps up, because you kept trying to go back into level 6, and those Patras and Blue Wizards were just not having it for you, man.
No. Yeah, and I think this seed, Red, I think if you don't miss Mark 3, you beat me by 30 minutes. Like, there's no doubt in my mind that you absolutely just crushed me. And I technically still would have the rest of 9 to dig out, 2 before I even touched 5, 6, and 7 at this point. So you'd had me by a long way, even with the Silvers where they were.
Well, I think we can both say that that's a rarity. We played each other pretty even, for the past couple of weeks, and you've been on top of your game, like you said. You put up some crazy numbers, so this is a rarity. Like we both, we want to throw this one out for sure if we can, but GG's, man. It sucks, moving on past you because I like you, which is, you always want to play your friends until this moment, right?
Yeah.
And speaking of moving on, Redbird, your next opponent already set in stone. The 19th seeded Alsoa 999. That's going to be another fantastic matchup, I'd have to imagine.
He is the world's best Z1 keyboard player of all time, hands down.
Wow. I'm in the middle of trying to take down a keyboard player myself, so kindred spirits there, I guess.
No, I hear you. No, Also is great. Just like Nora. It's just Nora and Also are cut from the same cloth because they're not afraid to gamble. Nora, you're not afraid. You scare the heck out of me, dude, because you're not afraid to. You'll take a Triforce and go. And I'm like, nah, man, let's check this room and let's check this other one. Like I'm over here like dawdling in levels, and I know you fly, man, and that's how Also is. You guys are both made exactly the same. So, this wasn't fun. I knew what I was up against, and it's not gonna be fun going up against Also either.
Well, I promise I'll stay away from you, at least in the IRC before the race begins.
Appreciate it.
And before we actually let you go, Nora, I do want to thank you. For those who don't know, Nora is part of our staff, and he is the one who is constantly pulling his hair out to make sure you get to see everyone be restreamed. Does a lot with the scheduling and everything. So I do want to give a big thanks to you, because I know that you'll still be continuing to be a part of this tournament even if you aren't racing in it. So thank you for all that.
Grim, thank you for putting this on. You really are the one that pulls the strings as far as the admins on this tournament, and it's been a joy. Like, I love the Pinafore. This one's just as much. I can't wait to see what's next for next year.
Absolutely. So if either of our runners doesn't have anything else, and if you guys do, feel free to interject here. But I do believe we have a race that is getting a little closer to finishing up over on Speed Gaming 2. so we can send everyone over there. So anything from our runners or Liquid?
No, I'm done. I'm done. Bye.
I'm going to bed. Heck yeah, man. Yeah, thanks guys for calling it and speed gaming and all that jazz and yada yada yada. But GG's Nora for sure.
Yeah, and all I gotta say is, yeah, we are gonna head over to Speed Gaming 2 as Angel FM and Eat My Steel are in what I believe is Game 2 of their matchup over on Speed Gaming 2 with Chess Jerk and Cyclone on the call. Thanks to our trackers tonight, ex-Russian Bishop and I'm sorry, Fry Teeth and Imasock. Russian Bishop's over on the other one, and from that, Grim, just take us away, man.
Yeah, so definitely give Liquid Husband a follow as well. But for everyone here at Speed Gaming, for our runners, Redbirdgrad and Noraystra, thank you all for stopping by, and we will see you later.